lovely to talk to you because I thought that you were actually part of some of the films here today. But unusually we are doing an interview with somebody, a beautiful woman like yourself, on a film that you did about colorism. So talk to me about it because it's out now, right now. Tell me some more about it.
Yeah, so it's called No Shade. It's written and directed and starring Clare Anyiam-Osigwe, and I play the lead character Jade. And it's basically a story about a dark-skinned woman and how we have to learn to love ourselves, because essentially she's in love with her best friend Danny, who will never see her the way she wants him to see her.
Why?
Because she's dark-skinned.
You might find them a little bit hard on you, and I hope you don't feel that, because this subject, I always like to get in the mind to see why people have written it this way. So because she's dark-skinned, this gentleman does not love her.
Yeah, so it's basically like he says, you're my sister for life, but I could never date you because I just don't see you that way because of her skin. But he's always checking for lighter-skinned women. And
is he black himself?
Yeah, he is. So it's just like, it's about the inherent colorism within our society and just kind of shining a light on it in a sort of romantic comedy way, so that we can kind of start to really own the narrative on it and try and change it, you know what I mean?
So a romantic comedy way, that's nice, because the approach is completely different to being so serious.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, nice. So can I ask you, seeing that you're a beautiful dark-skinned lady yourself, have you ever experienced things like that?
I think I have, but I've been lucky enough not to be run down by it, you know, because since being in the industry, I do see a bit more sometimes where you see a man and they look at you and they literally just look away from you. And like, I remember once I was standing with a friend of mine.
Really?
No, honestly, it was fascinating. I was standing with a friend of mine once. She's mixed race, gorgeous woman. I love her to death. Not to death, but anyway. And we were walking and this guy just goes, "Hey, lighty." I'm like, yo,
really?
Is this how this works? It was terrible. But then at the same time, there was another guy who came up to us and focused on me because I was dark-skinned. And I think colorism works both ways in that way, you know what I mean? And I think both are damaging.
Fortunately enough, I haven't experienced that. So really, I felt a bit out of the box, but yet trying to be empathetic to the situation because I'm dark-skinned too. So when I hear about this, it's like the segregation between our community. It saddens me so much because I was naive. I didn't even know if it was there.
Babes, I didn't know it was there for a very, very long time. I was very lucky with the upbringing I had. I went to like a boarding school. I went through working in the city. I just identified myself as a woman, not as being like a black woman necessarily or anything. So when I started to see this divide, it did sadden me because I'm like, no, you know, and the thing is, thankfully, it seems to be something that people grow out of, but it's very prominent in our youth at the moment. And that's quite worrying. You know, when you see on Twitter things like #Team Lighty, #Team Darky, you have people like Black China going to Nigeria to whiten people's skin. You have...
Really?
Yeah! She's literally gone to like be the face of this skin lightening brand in Nigeria. You know, and it's like when you see things like that inherent in society, you see things like Maya Jama and the comments that she made, or Steph London and the comments that she made.
What did she say?
I think she said,
is it true?
I mean, I can't remember specifically. It was either something about Amber Rose and trying to be Amber Rose but looking like someone else when you shave your head. But it was kind of awful. Like if you look up the tweets from a few years back, you're like, this is not good, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to like dampen them down now. I think they've both learned about it, but the fact that this was something that they felt was okay to say on social media, damaging to other queens, I think is so wrong, you know.
It is, definitely. I find myself kind of like defending light-skinned women as well because my mum, my queen is very, very, very fair. She's mixed race, so it's like I do feel like I need to defend because I've heard some men say, "Oh, never go out of a mixed race or a lighty." What is that? I constantly find myself defending that because you're talking about my mother, you know.
Yes.
So you're right. It's both ways. But anyway, it's just very interesting, and I just hope that many people don't have to experience it.
I really pray so, and I hope that this film shines a light on it in a way that means that we eradicate it, you know. So I'm feeling very grateful they had like its Odeon cinema release here, and we had quite a good outcoming, like people coming out to see it. And
where can we see it?
Well, at the moment it's just opened up in New York for cinema release there for a while, which we thank God for. At the moment you can follow it at No Shade Film and on Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.